From Broadcast House on Sign Language, it is Elizabeth Nakakoni and I am Rukidi Edward Kiinangoma. President Yoweri Museveni has said that there is need for African countries to unite for the sake of the continent's security. He made the remarks while delivering a lecture of opportunity to a delegation from New Delhi National Defense College at State House in Entebbe.
And even strategic mistakes. Africa, as I told you, is the origin of man. All human beings started here. But the population in Africa did not grow as much as the population of out of Africa. Why? Because Africa, with the low level of technology, was good for both man, but also good for his enemies also, for man's enemies. The mosquito, the tsetse fly, the bacteria. This climate is good for both man and his enemies. So that's why the population in Africa did not grow so fast. Even today, India is 12 times smaller than Africa, but even today the population of India is slightly more than the population of the whole of Africa. Now, secondly, I need to inform you that many people who don't understand Africa think, and the commentators who don't know much, they talk about Africa as having many tribes, many groups. It's actually not true. Africa has got only 4 groups, 4 linguistic groups. One group is called the Niger-Congo group of languages. Then you have the Nilo-Saharan group of languages. These are the languages of southern Ethiopia, northern Sudan, northern Uganda, northern Kenya, northern Congo, parts of Central Africa, parts of even the northern parts of Nigeria. The third language group are what we call the Afro-Asiatic. And then we have got a small language group of what they call Bushmen in South Africa. It's an ancient language for a small group. But the good chance for Africa is that we also have a neutral language, a language which belongs to nobody. When our groups met on the East African coast many centuries ago, they developed a neutral language by taking from this tribe, that tribe. This is called Swahili. So Swahili is a language that doesn't belong to any tribe.
Your Excellency, at the outset, let me thank you for giving this opportunity for this delegation and High Commission to call on you and gain from Your Excellency's profound strategic understanding of the region and the world. Your Excellency, this delegation from NDC, their visit to Uganda is a symbol of our deep and broad bilateral relation and close ties between our countries.
National Defense College officers from India being addressed by President Yoweri Museveni in that report there. Now, Uganda People's Defence Forces UPDF has signed a joint operation order for Phase 3 of Operation Shuja in Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo. Now, this is in line with activities done in the progress of capturing the ADF rebels in the region. Let's have this story.
The meeting was also attended by the Joint Operation Brigade commanders and intelligence officers, started with an early morning 10 kilometers road run. General Kanja Muhanga, who also doubles as the Mountain Division commander, informed the media about the new strategies and the dynamics of the ADF.
All these camps were near our border, and we managed to defeat the enemy in those to chase him out of those camps. So far, his network has been dealt with, because he had a network for getting food, logistics, getting medicine from even some pharmaceuticals from Uganda they would buy. All that network has been defeated.
General Kayanja said from the beginning of the Operation Shuja, several milestones have been registered. He said the return of displaced people to their family abandoned homes, opening of schools, hospitals, churches and mosques are some of the achievements to talk about.
The areas where the joint forces are operating from now, those areas of Chabi, those areas of Boga, Kiinangoma, areas of Mwenda, Mutwanga, all those areas now the population is coming back, farming is taking place, schools are opening, health centers are opening, churches are opening, the civilian population is coming back to those centers and villages where they used not to be, where they had run away. Civilians had run away as far as Bunya, others had gone up to Beni, so they are now coming back in big numbers.
General Bombelo Kamel revealed that working together with General Kayanja are still going on with the mandate assigned to them by the two heads of states. General Bombelo further appealed to the people of Congo and Uganda to join the joint forces in order to fight the common enemy. Operation Shuja is a code name of the joint operation for the offensive action against ADF who are carrying out terrorism activities both in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. The Operation Shuja has 3 phases. Every 2 months, review is conducted to ascertain the progress of the operation and draw mechanism for the way forward. Mutesa Sida Haruna, UBC News.
And also in this program, we'll be going live to Namgongo to get a feel of what's happening at the moment as we prepare for the D-Day that is tomorrow. Meanwhile, the UPDF Military Police Commander and Exercise Director, Major General Don Nabasa, has visited the East African Community Armed Forces Defense Line in Jinja to check on the preparedness of the exercise. Major General Nabasa's visit comes at a time when the field training exercise is set to be opened officially tomorrow, Friday the 3rd June 2022. Haruna Mtesa gives us more.
Since morning I've been moving around.
All is set for the official opening for the field training exercise in Jinja after completion of the initial preparations.
A visit to check on the preparedness of the contingents, because we know there are still, some of them are still settling in. There are still a number of activities that they are doing to ensure that their operations rooms are up and running, their defenses are fortified and everything. So we are checking on the progress of the developments of the contingent sites. That's why I'm moving with the head of real life support, so that in case there are any missing links, so that he can fix them, because that's his responsibility. And so far so good.
Exercise Director Major General Don Nabasa has confirmed that the preparations and objectives have been achieved by the East African Community Armed Forces representatives.
Probably 70 to 80%. We have a number of similar projects that are supposed to be concurrently undertaken as we are conducting our main field training exercise. And these include the construction of classrooms at a primary school in Mutai, 2 classrooms, and construction of a maternity ward at Ivnamba Health Center 2, and that's where we stopped. The other one we didn't stop because the works were not in progress at that time. They had taken a break. That's why we didn't branch there. We just passed. So where we stopped, we wanted to check on their progress as well, and they are now at roofing level. They promised us that in the next 1 week it will be done, because those two projects are supposed to be complete.
General Nabasa said all the contingent sites are at 80% and in the final phase for the official opening of the field training. The field training exercise strengthens the capacity to plan, prepare, and sustain operations that promote peace, security, stability, and integration through observance of the East African community. Mutesa Sira Haruna, UBC News.
And that is what is happening as far as the exercise is concerned. But now let's go live to Namugongo, where our reporter Onyango Robert is on standby to give us a feel of what is happening since the pilgrims have actually arrived, so many of them. Onyango, good evening and welcome to this program. Give us a feel of what's happening right now at the Catholic Shrine.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Kija and our viewers of UBC. Just like you have rightly said that we are coming to you live from Uganda Matters Shrine. To be specific, we are here at the Catholic Shrine in Namugongo. Just a few minutes ago, there has been a mass going on here and it has just ended, and this has been being led by the Kampala Archdiocese. It was in Uganda, and pilgrims already who are here have been part of it, and as you hear in the background, they're trying to wind up that session as we also wait for the mass which is coming up at exactly 8:30, and that will be in Lunyoro, Lunyakitara and other language. So the feel or the mood here at Namugongo Catholic Shrine is not a bit bad. There is a lot of calmness, there is a lot of anxiety, and the pilgrims are equally looking at the day which is tomorrow, Friday, to be part of the mass for this year's 3rd June Matters Day celebration, which is going to be animated by the Fort Portal Diocese. As we have been telling you in our subsequent news bulletins, that preparations have been on for almost
looks like we have a technical problem and we have lost Onyango Robert, but we'll rectify that and get back to him. But meanwhile, let's continue with this bulletin. The UN Human Rights has appealed to government of Uganda to work closely with local leaders in reducing the increased human rights records across the country. According to the judge advocate of the High Marshal, Captain Robert Kandole, 2 to 5 cases of human rights violations by the UPDF officers are recorded in Gulu every month. Take a watch.
Have waka, you pass the ice through me about my waka. Now come and see for yourself, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo. Look at you waka, see my waka that I got with Momo.
Show them waka with MTN Momo Nyabo. Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
Welcome back from that break, and this is the first edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Now, among the Fort Portal Diocese Choir to animate this year's Matters Day celebrations at the Catholic Shrine in Namugongo is a 14-year-old Nisima Bansegu Daniela, a student at St. Maria Goretti Girls Secondary School in Fort Portal. Now, her singing capabilities make her one of the must-watch choir members come tomorrow, Friday the 3rd of June at Namugongo. Take a watch.
My name is Nisima Bansegu Daniela. I'm at St. Maria Goretti Girls Senior Secondary School, Fort Portal. And I feel very proud to be in this choir. And my role in this choir is to make someone who has come here to pray, to make her also feel happy inside her, to make her feel healed, to make that person who has come here to also feel that joy of the Uganda Matters. I'm 14, I'm making 15.
Have you ever sung before?
No, in a choir, no.
How did you feel that you can make it?
I don't even know how blessed I am, because it all just happened by coincidence. I was just, the nuns asked us to sing, then after that they took us the next morning, and then that's when we knew that we are joining the Namugongo choir. I'm very happy and proud of myself and my trainers. These were helping me in everything that I do. They help us sing, they help us in everything, they correct us and all that. Yeah, I want to carry on my talent of singing.
Like in this same choir, is there any role specifically assigned to you?
Yes?
Do you have any role assigned to you specifically in the choir?
Yes. I'm in a certain chamber choir, in a certain song. Yes.
Which particular song?
Young talent there, and we do hope that she'll continue with continue developing that talent. Now, the Anglican clergy have urged the public to support local industries by consuming locally manufactured products. The clergy from all archdioceses in the country who are in Kampala for the Matters Day celebrations made the clarion call at Cipla Quality Chemicals on a courtesy visit. They were led by Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, the Archbishop Church of Uganda.
We have many good things here, and we may not know them. Or we may lack those who do advocacy for what we have. All the time we are saying, America, where, but here. And so we are so grateful to God. That's my appeal to the government of Uganda to continue supporting such organizations, factors, industry like Cipla, so that we'll have production from here.
The company started with 3 main core therapy areas: HIV/AIDS, malaria, and hepatitis B. And now we started to add that expansion of therapeutic areas into anti-infectives, CV diabetics. If you know, cardiovascular diseases and diabetes becomes a prominent common disease nowadays. every second, third person you will meet, you ask them either they have hypertension or they have diabetes. So we started to go into this area as well, gastro, and the fourth one is pain. Apart from these lifestyle disease treatments, we are now also developing a facility, and it's going to be constructed next to this facility for production of anti-cancer medicines.
Thank you for allowing us to come and for educating us on this very important work you do to save lives. We are also in the business of saving lives, but you are together with us in that business.
And of course, as you've been watching, we have been to Namugongo, some stories, and we're now going to look at the security situation there, and our reporter Ivan Kahwa has been at Namugongo and brought us this report.
Pilgrims continue to arrive at Namugongo to commemorate 3rd June, a day when Uganda Matters were killed on orders of Kabaka Muwanga Basamulekere. Security has been tightened to curtail any form of inconvenience from potential disruptors of the event. Motorists were not allowed along the route to the entrance of Namugongo, hence free movement of the pilgrims. At the Namugongo Shrine, UPDF and military police presence, combat security vehicles, snipers, foot, motorbike patrols and air surveillance have been the routine. Pilgrims were checked thoroughly while entering the shrine. Sniffer dogs were used at some entrances.
Tugenza okutuuka wano ng'ate tebatusumbuwa nnyo nti ate gira bino nti ate leka tukebere bino bakebera ekisaanidde tebatulwisa engeri gye twali tukooye era lwatuuseewo ne batuyambako obuyambi ne tuyingira nga naye munda bwe tuyita waliwo omusirikale badeployinze ate mu ddembe.
Kampala Metropolitan Police Deputy Spokesperson Luke Oyesigire confirms arrests of some criminals at the event.
We have registered like 3 cases of theft of money and also made arrests of too close to 12 people, persons who are suspected of stealing phones and also stealing money. They are with us at our different police stations here in Namugongo.
Unlike the years before COVID-19 ravaged the world, this time the turn-up seems to be low among the pilgrims. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News in Namugongo.
Now, with just hours to celebrate Matters Day, residents who stay around Namugongo Matters shrines have narrated what befalls them during these celebrations. They attest that whereas celebrations come with an added advantage like booming business, crime rate goes high during this period, as we hear in this story.
Every year, thousands of pilgrims flock Namugongo to commemorate Uganda Matters Day. Residents who stay around the shrines in this area face different challenges. During our visit to some of the residents in the area, we meet the 70-year-old Simon Peter Rubega, who has been a resident of this area for more than 30 years and vividly remembers the unfortunate incident during the 2017 Matters Day celebrations when a gang of thieves raided his home and fled with poultry.
On that very day, we slept normally. Thieves came and made a hole behind the house of where I was keeping the chicken, and they took the entire stock I had. From that day, I had to change even the building, the face of the building. I built that way. Behind me is a fence, so they cannot dig any longer from behind. Here you have to know that when it is a Matters Day, you have to be alert of the thieves. They come in big numbers. Others steal scrap, others steal pigs, others steal whatever.
Narongo Rubega also narrates the ordeal that she goes through, ranging from restricted movements and high transport costs that come as a result of blocked roads by security.
Abatuuze entambula ebeera nzibu kubanga enguudo bazisiba. Abantu baba babonaabona babayisa eri kyaliwajja Nabwojo ne bagenda Nsawo Road paka eri wansi Nakiyanja.
Tukosa kubanga olw'ensonga tuba tulina okugenda ne tukola okukomawo ne bakuyisa ate wala ne bakongezaamu 10,000. Abadde agenda ekireko gira 3 mu kibuga 5 mu kakaaga so n'ekyo kitukosezaamu nga ffe ab'oku kitundu.
This is another homestead. We meet a 48-year-old Narubega Stella, a mother of 4, and today she is home with her children who did not make it to school due to transport challenges.
Kati abaana abamu bakoma okusoma ku Mande nga balinda kalooli paka wanaggwa. Abalala bakoma ku Lwakusatu. Naffe transport bamutuseera nga tujja eno kati okuva Ekireka paka wano bakwetera 3,000. So ene kalooli tumwagala mulungi naye obuzibu bwe tumufunamu byebyo transport abayaaye ababbi byonna.
Kamregia Robert, another member of the homestead, attests that whereas the celebrations come with many advantages like booming businesses around the area, criminals take advantage to steal from people in the area.
Agenda oba mu town oba kola ki wadde olina kyoyagala nga tolina woyita. Ekirala mugiramu n'aba abatwala ebintu by'abantu. Kuba tomanya ani azze kulamaga nazze kola bibye.
Kyekitundu kyaffe kirungi naye ababbi bazze bangi. Essimu bagibbye ate nkyalina essimu nkutidde ezo.
Saddam Mubale, UBC News, Kampala.
Residents of Namugongo lamenting there in that story. Now, as Christians count hours to Matters Day, the business community in and around Namugongo has seen multitudes of enterprise operators increase their stocks with the hope of attracting a great number of buyers come the 3rd of June around the Catholic shrine.
Here Christians commemorate Uganda Matters, items symbolizing Christianity, Catholicism and sacrifice made by the early saints are being lined up for sale.
Sapule nkulu nnyo eri abakatoliki kubanga Mama Maria ye yazaala Yesu abajulizi bano gwe bafiirira ye bafiirira Yesu kati ensonga lwaki Mama Maria Yesu bwe yali afa yamutulekera ezirimu emitendera. Tulina sapule eno eya bulijjo ey'ebikolwa 5, tulina sapule ey'ebibonyobonyo, tulina sapule ey'okwebaza, tulina sapule eya Yosefu ntunda okuva ku 1,000 mpaka ku nusu ku mutwalo. Kati ensonga lwaki buli zimu zirina emitendera ey'olukumi obuweke bwebwo kisinziira bwe mbusuubudde 2,000 zigenda zirinya okusinziira ku mpeke zaazo.
Kiri ku mpeke tekiri ku maanyi oba obubaka obuli mu sapule eyo?
Sapule ne bwogula eno obubaka bwe bumu n'ey'omutwalo.
Food remains the most bought item by pilgrims and natives of Namugongo and their neighborhoods. Food dealers are trying what's possible to supply what's pleasant to customers.
We came to make money here. I personally am a farmer. Today, as you can see, the population has increased and people want to see the rotating chicken, how does it taste. I also feel good that my chicken out there tastes good.
Retailers whose sales are currently not promising are still optimistic that the left few hours to the day will certainly usher in customers who will aid them earn a living.
Last time when we last came here, that business was nice. But this time round, people are buying slowly. I think because it's a general thing, we have a financial quagmire everywhere. I think that's why. But all along things were nice. But now, I hope tomorrow things will be nice.
Joshua Kagoro for UBC News in Namugongo.
And we'll remain at Namugongo momentarily, where over 2,000 people at both the Catholic and Anglican shrines at Namugongo have received medical services from different health stations deployed at the shrines ahead of tomorrow's celebrations. Pilgrims who present with different health issues are worked on immediately, and critical ones referred to health facilities for better management. Now, some of the health services offered are COVID-19 testing and vaccination, first aid and emergency services, and medical advice. The number of those seeking for medical attention increases by day, and medical practitioners assured the pilgrims that they have enough medical supplies to cater for anyone who seeks medical attention.
I'm here with the Ministry of Health to give first aid and emergency service to our pilgrims. We started our work yesterday, and up to date we've seen over 1,000 patients coming to our tent to seek services. Majority of them are pilgrims who have walked from far as Kenya, Tanzania, Fort Portal, up country, and most regions of Mbala and Sironko. Mainly the patients we are seeing are those with leg pains, back aches. We've also seen a lot of malaria among our pilgrims, especially those who came from far. And we are able to test them at this point, as well as give them medication. We are mainly giving first aid care, so we don't really do a lot of the medical. But we have got supplies to also help those with other ailments. For example, those who are diabetic and they did not come with their medication. Those who are hypertensive who didn't come with their medication. We've had some of them who are low on glucose or
cases of restoration of family links, people who get lost along the way, people who get lost within, and they also come to us. I just found out from our statistics that today we have worked on 15 cases, and so far so good. 14 are successful. We've been able to link people to their loved ones. We are still tracing for one person, and I'm hopeful that by the end of the day, we shall still connect them to their loved ones. All the cases that are coming in are manageable. Our team are experienced. We have enough in our stock, enough logistics. We have ambulances like you can see everywhere. Whenever we get that a case that we may not handle, we refer. But as for today, we haven't had any referral. It's only yesterday where we had 2 cases that were referred and were worked on.
Now it's merely hours to the 3rd of June, and we continue profiling more Uganda Matters who sacrificed their life for Christianity. Today we profile Saint Gonzaga Gonza, the patron saint of prisoners, and Saint Noah Mawagali, the patron saint of the poor.
The life and martyrdom of Saint Gonzaga Gonza. Gonzaga is the patron of saints, of prisoners, travelers, the ill-treated and those in trouble. He was a morally exemplary Musoga boy whose father was Gonza of the family of Zibondo of Bulamoji, belonging to the Bushback clan. His mother is not known. Gonza first lived in Chigungu at Busambira village, but later migrated to Bulamoji, where he was born. He was captured by Kasoma Tegusaga Bulusi, who treated him as his own son. Gonzaga behaved very well. He was obedient, trustworthy, intelligent, and hardworking. When King Mutesa I wanted good boys for his service, Tegusaga selected Gonzaga from among his sons at the age of 12. The boy worked in the private section of the enclosure under Joseph Mukasa Balikudembe, who soon converted him to Catholicism. After the execution of Athanasius at Nachivubo, the death march started off again and Gonzaga was among them. He was baptized on the 17th of November 1885 by Father Laudel at Nalukolongo Mission Station. They climbed the old Kampala hill, crossed the present-day Chitante Road, and then climbed Mulago Road into Chira to Chiwatule village, where Chigowa Ministry of Andrew had been built. The prisoners were allowed to visit the place of Andrew Kagwa, who had been executed a day before at Munyonyo. There was nothing left, neither men nor goods, except some rubbish scattered around the courtyard. It was then that the new arrivals, James Buza Baliao and Bruno Serunkuma, joined the march. They had been arrested after the general arrest, and they had spent the night at Mengo, but they did not meet other prisoners there. After an hour's rest, they continued with the march to Namugongo. Although Gonza was more determined to continue with the journey, he collapsed on the way at Lubao Junction. He was speared to death by Mukajanga in the afternoon on Thursday, 27th May, 1886. He was a youth of about 24 years old. The life and martyrdom of Saint Noah Mawagali. Noah is the patron saint of the poor, the technicians, and the artists. His father was Musazi and his mother Meme. He was born at a place called Nkazibukuku in Singo. He was born in a family of 9 siblings. Unfortunately, by the time he suffered martyrdom, there were only 2, himself and his sister Munaku. By profession, Noah was a porter of the county chief. His wife was Chikua and had 2 children. His sister was later baptized Maria Mechilda by Father Laudel. The baptism took place on 2nd September 1886 after the Namugongo Holocaust. He met his death on 31st May 1886 at the age of 35 years at Mitiana by the executioner Mbugano.
And those were the saints who we had to profile tonight. We're now going to go for a short break, but still to come on this program. Of Appeal confirms Abdul Katuntu as Bugweri County Member of Parliament. Uganda's energy and oil sector still on track despite effects of COVID-19. And diminishing quality of soil cited as a major hindrance to Uganda's agriculture.
My waka, now come and see for yourself. See my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo. Jambola be waka, look at you waka. See my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo.
Show them waka with MTN Momo Nyabo. Simply deposit 20K or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
The Oil and Gas Moment, brought to you by Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey. In order to be contracted to supply goods and services for oil activities in Uganda, you must register on the National Suppliers Database. Between 2017 and 2021, close to 400 Ugandan entities were awarded various contracts to supply goods and services to the sector.
Tech Lab Limited is a geosciences company that has been offering geotechnical and geophysical investigation services to the East African market since its inception in 2002. Our experience working with Ama Energy has been a pleasurable one. The seismic surveys have always been on our radar, and when this opportunity came up, we put together a winning bid and became the first Ugandan company to provide seismic services under an oil and gas contract in Uganda.
Registration on the National Suppliers Database is free. Visit www.pau.go.ug, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Affordable packages, great entertainment, sports, the local content, telenovela, the movies. There is something for everybody. Go TV, this is where great stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With GoTV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Uganda shillings per month. GoTV, great stories, Zidiwano. GoTV Uganda, love it.
Beat the back-to-school hustle today. Pay school fees conveniently using Airtel Money. Dial *185#. Select option 6, school fees. Select to pay using Bridge Schools, School Pay or Beg Pay. Select option 1, pay fees. Enter student number. Enter the amount. Enter the PIN number to complete payment. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello? Hello? This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions, and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number, and you send it to her chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera, refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Welcome back from that break, and this is the first edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Well, welcome to those of you just joining us. Moving on now, we go to the courts of law, where Court of Appeal has reconfirmed Abdul Katuntu as the duly elected Member of Parliament for Bugweri County. Now, this followed the 3 justices of a Court of Appeal dismissing lawyer Julius Galisonga's petition appeal that he had filed against Abdul Katuntu, challenging his victory, citing that the elections were marred with irregularities.
The High Court in Jinja, presided over by Judge Suzanne Abinyo, dismissed the Forum for Democratic Changes Julius Galisonga's petition on grounds that the petitioner failed to prove to court that the elections for Bugweri County were marred with election irregularities, leading to the victory of Abdul Katuntu. Judge Suzanne Abinyo dismissed the petition with costs to the appellant. FDC's Julius Galisonga, who was not contented with the decision, filed an appeal on grounds that the trial judge Suzanne Abinyo erred in law by upholding Abdul Katuntu's victory. He asked court to nullify Abdul Katuntu's victory and order for a by-election. However, the respondents, Electoral Commission and Abdul Katuntu, asked court to dismiss the petition. Justices of Court of Appeal Chebroni Obarishaki, Helen Obra and Christopher Madrama, after perusing through both sides' submissions, have Thursday morning dismissed the petition, with each party to bear its own costs to the petition.
The election of Honourable Abdul Katuntu as Member of Parliament of Bugweri District is upheld. Consequently, the following orders are made. The appeal substantially fails and is dismissed. Since the appeal succeeds only in part, each party shall bear their own costs here and in the court below.
And in my view, the fact that they've even indicated that we don't pay costs in this court demonstrates that we put up a good case, we put up a good appeal, and I'm convinced that that's the reason why they were persuaded not to have my client pay costs.
Court dismissed the petition on grounds that the appellant, Julius Galisonga, failed to provide court with the evidence to support his petition. After receiving the judgment, Abdul Katuntu expressed joy at court premises.
He was never a competitor in this race. He was a distant third. He never accused me of cheating. But that there was an incident where my supporters fought with his. How can that be an incident to nullify an election? So really, I am happy the whole debacle has come to an end. Let me go and work for my people and for this country.
Okello Odiemu was the lawyer representing Abdul Katuntu in this matter, and the Electoral Commission was represented by counsel Eric Sabiti.
Court has confirmed that indeed the evidence which was adduced by the petitioner was very insufficient and lacking to upset the will of the people in Bugweri. And to that effect, we indeed welcome the ruling of this honorable court.
By dismissing the appeal, the court has also in effect held that the election was properly conducted, and then the Honorable Katuntu won the election fair and square.
FDC's Julius Galinsonga petitioned court challenging Abdul Kantuntu as the elected member of parliament for Bugweri County, citing malpractices in the general elections. He also accused Abdul Kantuntu for conniving with the Electoral Commission to frustrate rightful procedures of fairness during the execution of various activities throughout the election cycle. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Good news there for MP Kantuntu. Now, diminishing quality of soil has been cited as one of the impediments to increased agricultural productivity in Uganda. This underscores the need for farmers at all levels to embrace soil testing as a mechanism to improve agricultural production for both subsistence and commercial purposes. This was echoed during the National Stakeholders Dialogue on the 2022 to 2026 Agricultural Extension Strategy held here in Kampala. Henry Okrut reports.
Both organic and processed fertilizers have been applied, and modern farming methods have been adopted, including mechanization. All this has been done to improve agricultural production in both quality and quantity. But one challenge remains eminent: the quality of soil for production. This is why stakeholders want farmers to give priority to soil testing.
They need to know why their plots are not performing, why their fields are not performing the way they're performing.
This is a matter that gained prominence during the National Stakeholders Dialogue on the 2022 to 2026 Agricultural Extension Strategy. They want fertilizers properly applied for improved agricultural production.
Because sometimes we focus on building organic matter, but maybe the soils have organic matter. So and then when you have too much organic matter, you also see too much overgrowth of a plant. And that is a waste. You're doing something to increase production, but it's not going to increase production.
So as long as the skill is given to the extension workers and to the farmers, then they'll be able to identify the problem, first of all, but also, two, they'll be able to remedy the problem.
It became part of the deliberations in the formulation of the next agricultural extension strategy, bringing together stakeholders across the agricultural value chain.
To see to it that we have an enabling policy environment and ensuring that the district action plans, the nutrition action plans are well aligned to the National Agriculture Extension Strategy.
The dialogue was officially closed by State Minister for Animal Industry, Rwamirama Bright Kanyontore.
Under the NDP3, MAIF is leading implementation of agro-industrialization program, and agriculture extension service is expected to play a very critical role in the whole value chain.
Rwamirama, himself a farmer, wants the new agricultural extension strategy aligned with the new and recently launched parish development model.
The task ahead of us, therefore, is to make sure that the National Agriculture Extension Strategy 21-26 that has been discussed here is completed, funded, and effectively implemented for the next 5 years.
For now, it remains a concern of agriculturalists to have modern farming methods adopted, including ascertaining the quality of soil for improved agricultural production. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Health and education sectors have been identified among the leading corrupt sectors in the country, indicating loss of funds during procurement processes. This has been disclosed at the launch of Arua Regional Office, where State Minister for Local Government, Victoria Rusoke, urged public servants to serve the country for development.
Corruption is in the heart, corruption is in the mind. And how can you make your mind correct and your heart?
I am not very much convinced if the efforts to fight corruption is practical or it is only theory.
During the launch of Arua Regional Office for United Agency for International Development, Strengthening Systems and Public Accountability Project, State Minister for Local Government, Victoria Rusoke, blamed the stakeholders for the slow pace of systems used in fighting corruption.
Because IGG is not new. The State House Anti-Corruption Unit, there is the Auditor General's Office at the headquarters, and the Auditor General's Office in every district. There are district auditors in every district. There is the Whistleblowers Act, allowing any one of you to tell the country, to tell the authority around you of any irregularities. So who is to blame? And the answer, we are all to blame.
Rusoke says it is upon public servants to have a spirit of nationalism.
This is a time to make it a turning point and fight without fear or favor. But some of the leaders, you also rub shoulders with the civil servants. You rub shoulders, some of you demand money. I'm about to come here to handle a case which I'm delegated to do in this region. We are not lacking the laws, we are not lacking the regulations, and we are laxed thinking there is someone who will do it for me. If that stops, I think, yes, we can overcome corruption.
Monica Azimi from United Agency for International Development says Uganda loses 9.1 trillion shillings every year to corruption.
A recent study commissioned by the Uganda Inspectorate for Government on the cost of corruption showed that Uganda loses 9.1 trillion shillings. That's 2.5 billion US dollars to corruption. This is equivalent to 44% of the total government of Uganda revenue in 2019. So where is this corruption occurring? According to the cost of corruption study, approximately 2.3 trillion shillings is lost annually due to absenteeism in the health and education sectors. This absenteeism denies the public access to services while employees get paid for work that they're not doing. Additionally, about 614 billion shillings, or 173 million US dollars, was lost in the procurement processes.
Bernard Oite, the Deputy Regional Head for Inspectorate of Government, Arua, says the Inspectorate has done its best in fighting corruption.
If they are reported to us, we investigate them. We have prosecuted so many of these so-called big fish. But sometimes the small fish actually becomes the big fish. But in investigation, we don't categorize that this is this and this.
Strengthening systems and public accountability project in Uganda is to increase effective use and accountability in the education sector, promote transparency and accountability, and reduce fraud in refugee response. Joseph Odama, UBC.
We'll take yet another short break, but still to come in this bulletin. Children showcase rare Special Olympic skills. And Uganda Dance Sport Federation continues its search. Uganda now ranked first in Africa. Stay tuned.
The Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is back on Sunday, 3rd July 2022 at Lubiri Mengo. This year, the run will be physical and will be flagged off by Sabasajja Kabaka at 7 a.m. Come out in large numbers once again to Lubiri Mengo. Run for a cause to fight and end HIV by 2030. Buy your ticket today at 15,000 Uganda shillings from Airtel shops at Tobani Center, New Taxi Park, ShopRite Building, Benchwanka Street, Majestic Brands Office at Bulange Mengo. You can also buy your ticket using Airtel Money. Dial *185*5#. Select Payments, select Kabaka Run, and follow the prompts to complete the payment. Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is brought to you by UNAID, CBS, BBS, and Airtel, the smartphone network.
sexual harassment.
Sexual harassment is unacceptable in our school.
Because a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Be alert. Do not share your Airtel Money PIN number with anyone. Airtel Uganda employees will never ask for your Airtel Money PIN number on call, SMS, or by email. All SIM card registrations, SIM card verifications, or SIM swaps are done at clearly branded Airtel shops and not on phone. To report any fraudulent activity, please call 100 immediately. The official calling number for Airtel promotions is 0200 100 100. Stay alert on Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Fun is our flavor. When we're together, the vibe is pretty alright. Our taste is fruity awesome. We are Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment. Enjoy Mirinda Fruity, Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment.
Water gives life. Water is life. But not all water is created equal. Refresh yourself with the new quality Nirvana packaged drinking water and fuel you and your passion to go further in life.
Visit a shop near you and grab a 250 ml at 500 shillings, 500 ml at 1,000 shillings, 1.5 liters at 2,000 shillings, or the 20-liter jumbo bottle at 19,000 shillings. Nirvana is a product of Crown Beverages Limited, the makers of Pepsi products.
Are you a player in the tourism sector with a struggling business following the COVID pandemic? UDB, in partnership with European Union, is providing financial assistance to businesses operating in the tourism sector. You can access subsidized loan with grants, loan with a tenure of up to 5 years, free business advisory services, and free environmental impact assessment. Visit www.udbl.co.ug/call for applications to apply. Deadline for submission is 31st October 2022 at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 0414 355 509.
Jennifer, Jukila, Bewagamba, I don't have waka. You passed the ice through me about my waka. Now come and see for yourself, see my waka that I got with Momo Nyabo. Jambola Bewaka, look at you waka, see my waka.
Simply deposit 20k or more on your mobile money for a chance to win 3 Toyota Succeeds and money to 2,000 lucky winners every week. We're giving away 24 cars and over 2 billion shillings of mobile money.
Welcome back from that break. Now, leaders of financial institutions have been urged to engage in promoting financial literacy in order to propel the growth of the country's financial services sector. According to financial sector players, the financial industry will grow further if the population is enlightened about banking and financial services, as we hear in this story.
The country's economic growth is highly dependent on the strength of the financial services sector, since it promotes access to finance for investment. It is against this background that the financial services sector in Uganda has been urged to invest in promotion of financial literacy.
When people have financial literacy, they are financially aware and they are literate. They are able to make sound financial decisions, and that's improving the financial capability. Now, financial literacy will include everything: what to do with my money, where to put my money, how to grow my money, how to protect my money in terms of insurance. So you can see that all that once done, will be able to improve, first of all, the people themselves and the economy.
The chairperson board of directors for Uganda Institute of Banking and Financial Services, Michael Mugabe, has challenged financial institutions to invest in maintaining a strong digital banking space to ease access to financial services.
Because indeed that's the new platform. The landscape of banking is now largely driven by technology. So to the extent that technology continues to drive banking, it's important and imperative for us as the Institute of Banking and Financial Services to train our bankers, to train our professionals, to beyond professional, to also be very versatile in the technical and in digital skills.
The Institute of Banking and Financial Services is impressed with the continuous growth of the financial services sector in the country and has pledged to offer more support not only for Uganda but also the East African community.
We are carrying out long-dated academic programs, professional programs, and also short skills programs related to banking and finance, including digital finance, including cyber security, and issues to do with fintechs. Now, we are doing this within Uganda. We have done it in Rwanda. We continue to support our people in South Sudan, but also doing it in collaboration with other institutes of banking in Africa, because we belong to an association of African institutes of banking.
The Financial Services Survey by Bank of Uganda indicates that 58% of Ugandans do not care how they spend their money, the reason financial institutions have been challenged to promote financial literacy. Adia Nakuti, UBC.
The Centenary Group announced its commitment to support Makerere University's centenary celebrations through a sponsorship worth $15,000. The sponsorship by Centenary Group is dedicated to supporting the events organized by Makerere University in celebrating 100 years of its existence. Sandra Kahunde reports.
The university welcomes Centenary Group's support through this partnership that will benefit both the students at Makerere University and the youth in Uganda as a whole.
We appreciate the role that the university has played in the transformation of the lives and the communities through the provision of high-quality education, not only in Uganda, but across Africa and beyond. Makerere University has played a major role in research and knowledge transfer.
And we are celebrating the sacrifices of very many people who have made Makerere what she is now. We are celebrating the lives of people who actually lost their lives, people like Katikkiro Nsibirwa and the Vice Chancellor Frank Kalimuzo, who were both assassinated, basically because of Makerere University. And a lot of other people who have sacrificed to make Makerere what it is now. We are celebrating the enormous contributions by many people from around the world, but majorly by Ugandans themselves in making Makerere what it is.
Makerere University and Centenary Group are both in the business of giving the youth a platform to achieve their full potential. This partnership will therefore inspire students and the youth in general to innovate and contribute significantly to the transformation of Uganda.
Legacy projects, we want to build a student center as well as other facilities to improve the welfare of our students.
Accept our humble contributions of 52 million Uganda shilling to assist you in this commemoration. This donation would have been bigger if it was not for this COVID-19. I'm quite sure that at the next celebration in that year, 22-22, Mr. Vice Chancellor, this contribution will be more than 1,000 times.
The management of Makerere University pledged to support all centenary subsidiaries towards the success of the Makerere centenary celebrations. The partnership between Uganda's largest indigenous business entity, Centenary, and Uganda's largest university, Makerere, will only grow stronger. Sandra Kahunde, UBC News.
Sports news now, and If one ever wondered the kind of talent that a child with intellectual disability has, well, hundreds of them are participating in what is termed as Sports for Development project. And surprisingly, the talent is immense. Take a watch.
Sporting kids at play, all given the same platform and equal assessment, one cannot tell those with intellectual disability. Each is paired with a partner who is a typical kid, allowing them to develop confidence and other social skills. Now this is what Special Olympics Uganda, in partnership with the German Corporation for Development, is doing.
I think the topic of inclusion, like I've mentioned, is dear to all of us, and to me it is really very important that children with intellectual disability get out of the shell. Most times we've seen in our communities, just a question, most children who have disabilities are not allowed outside of even the homes to play. Yeah, but through Special Olympics and through the Athletics for Development methodology, children are encouraged to come out. The parents are sensitized about what sport can play beyond, producing stars or sporting excellence, giving children, especially with disabilities, hope.
The two have launched the Athletics for Development methodology for children with and without intellectual disabilities under the Sports for Development program.
But then persons with intellectual disability are left out in centers. They have special units in the schools that are inclusive. They have special units where children with intellectual disability or other disabilities are kept. And when you look at the sports activities, most of them are left out. Special Olympics says no, we can address this by being inclusive, totally inclusive. Not just because we have an inclusive school, but we bring on board a person with and without intellectual disability, and we play together so that we can learn together.
The development methodology hopes to bridge the gap of inclusion in sports, contributing to the selection of the best to compete at the national level. The program, that targets 600 beneficiaries in 4 districts of Kabarole, Wakiso, Jinja and Kampala, will run for 3 months.
We are not only training life skills, we are training the motor skills. At the end of the day, we want to see, can we spot like maybe some talents out of the project? Can some of the athletes, can they execute different motor skills? For example, when it comes to clearing the hurdle, most of you can find that some of them, they don't know how to clear the hurdle.
For trials held on day 1, athletes with their partners were assessed by professional coaches, gauging their abilities to participate in the program.
Hold your friend's hand.
And that sports story brings us to the end of this first edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. Thank you so much for having kept us company, and our next bulletin comes your way at 10 p.m. Elizabeth Nakakuni has been on sign language, and I am Rukidi Edward Kiinangoma. I'll see you at 10.